Hey guys, it's the Thedadgamer here, and today I'm going to be showing you the popular mod for Arma 3, the Su-35. This mod was developed and released by John Spartan and Saul. The link to this mod can be found in the description. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the pilot's manual. To get the pilot's manual, you have to be parked near a hangar or on an air base, basically. It needs to be sort of one of the hard hangars or structures within the airbase. And to access the pilot's manual, all you have to do is the usual: scroll your mouse wheel, go down to pilot's manual, click on it. They've done a really good job here. Basically, they've made it so it's simple, pretty simple for a user. Made it an easy user experience. So I'll start from the 12 o'clock position and work my way around. So the first tab is the introduction tab, and on here you get on the left hand side you get relevant characteristics and information about the aircraft, the Su-35. On here it tells you things about the length, the wingspan and the weight and things like that, and the performance, the maximum speed and cruising speed, the ceiling, the altitude. And on the right hand side we've got information about what they've actually included within the mod. We're actually at version 1.0 now, so it's the release version, even though they're constantly updating it and adding extra bits and whatnot, listening to feedback from the community, and they've made it nice and easy for you to be able to give them feedback by using this button here. These guys, obviously, they work for free. You know, it's a hobby of theirs, but they will take donations via PayPal. So if you do use this and use it quite a lot, and you are interested in helping out John Spartan and Saul, then please click the PayPal button and give them a little bit of money. Next is the editor. In here, basically, what they've done is they've made it easy for you to set up your aircraft. So when you're making your missions and whatnot and you want to use this aircraft, you can basically go into your editor, your mission editor, and you can use the module that they've given. And the module you can easily customize and set up the aircraft to use. Next is navigation. On the navigation, it just tells you things about how to fly, sort of how to follow waypoints, how to bring up your in-game map. Things really you should know, but obviously they're there for anyone who doesn't really know what they're doing. Next is the weapon system. On here they tell you about all the different types of weaponry that the Su-35 can carry. Each weapon, air-to-air missiles and air-to-ground missiles. Obviously this can be set up for CAS and CAP. We'll go through a bit more of that later. Next is your in-flight information. Tells you basically your maximum speed with the afterburner on, and your stall speed, which is 140 to 160 kilometers an hour, and your landing speed should be about 175 to 185 kilometers. Obviously, tells you about the emergency procedures. It's got chaff and flares, and you can use the ejector seat. On the right hand side, it shows you the actual MFDs, what the left and the right one do, and what's involved. Well, what's shown on the HUD, all information. So obviously you've got the altitude, the speed, climb rate, climb angle, pitch roll, weapons and information. Like I say, they've done a very detailed job, and I'll show you that a bit later on. Next is your takeoff and landing procedures. Obviously things like making sure that your flaps are on full down before taking off. The Su-35 was basically developed for shorter runways, so things like your aircraft carriers and smaller airfields, being able to scramble quite quickly and get up off the ground and be ready to attack within minutes. Obviously every pilot should do a pre-flight checklist, and this is just simple things like making sure there's no damage on the aircraft, that you've got enough fuel and the correct ammunition and whatnot. Finally, the controls. Obviously on here it's just simple things, how to put your gear up and down, how to put your flaps up and down, and how to deploy your flares and chaff. Also there's a few keys that you need to remap, but if you're using a joystick, then it shouldn't really be too much of a problem for you. Next, I'm going to talk about the service menu. Again, can be accessed by scrolling the mouse. Click on that, and then from here there's a few little goodies. The first is the paint scheme library. Now, they've been good enough to include 4 different libraries for the aircraft. You've got your desert hex, your blue digital, your grey hex, and your grey digital. Obviously, depending on the terrain and where you're going to be fighting over, depends on what type of camo that you need. For this overview, I'm going to be using the desert hex. And we've got the arming menu. And here's where you choose what missiles you would like, if you want it empty or not. Obviously, depending on what type of mission you're setting up, depends on what type of missiles, etc. that you need. I've also done a great job of doing things like when you land, you can just click this button here and it'll rearm your aircraft. If you've had any damage, just click that. Repair, refuel. Obviously, CAS stands for close air support, so that's more for like scrambling and taking out ground targets like tanks, convoys, etc. And then you've got your multi-role, where you don't know what you're coming up against, so it could be air or ground. And then you've got CAP, which stands for Combat Air Patrol. Combat Air Patrol's obviously where you're patrolling an area, and if an enemy aircraft comes into that area, then obviously you're equipped to take that out. Obviously you can fly empty, if for some reason you just want to fly empty. Take it out, test it out without any weaponry on. Right now I want to show you the details of the Su-35. They've literally created something that's absolutely amazing. Even down to the scratches on the windscreen, as you can see. I mean, that's pretty high level of detail there. You don't even get that on the vanilla aircraft within Arma 3. While you're sat still and the engines are off and whatnot, you get these little red ladders that go down the side as well. I mean, the attention to detail is absolutely awesome. As you can see, the undercarriage, the weaponry, even the lights on the front landing gear, absolutely amazing. As we move around to the back of the aircraft, you can see the afterburners, the thrusters, even the level of detail on them and the rivets and whatnot, absolutely amazing. All this does turn as we would probably expect. The rudder and the actual afterburners turn, as you'll see in flight soon. So as you can see, to show you, the rudder does move along with the afterburners as well. Now to take it out for a flight. Throttle full power. Obviously you've got your status there, tells you if both engines are okay, if they're running at the right revolutions per minute, and your oil temperature. Com settings, unfortunately this is all just for show at the moment because none of these buttons are actually clickable, but it does add to the immersion. Left MFV does work, tells me that my afterburners are off, that both engines are okay, how much fuel I'm using, what altitude I'm at, how many knots I'm doing, what my attitude is. Like I said, on the right MFD you've got a real world map that's included within Arma 3. This is the Altus map. Now we're in flight, you can see the animation on the rear afterburners, you can see the smoke, the heat vapour coming from them, and if you look carefully, especially at night, you can actually see the heat rings coming off. Absolutely look amazing. The sound on this thing's absolutely awesome too. Flick the afterburners on. Done an absolutely amazing job on this. Afterburners off. I've also included the refueling probe, which can be seen now. Apparently at the moment you can't use it for refueling, but they have got plans to be able to do in-air refueling at some point. So first I'll show you the machine gun going off. It's nice to see that once you fire the missiles as well, they actually do disappear from the wings. Anyway, that concludes my overview of the Su-35 mod for Arma 3. Like I said, the links for the download can be found in the description. John Spartan and Saul are the guys that created this and released it to the community, and if you could maybe give them some feedback, you know, even give them a donation. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment in the section below and maybe give us a thumbs up. Obviously subscribe, because this is going to be something I'm going to do on a more regular basis regarding mods and add-ons for Arma 3, giving overviews and whatnot. If there's anything you'd like me to talk about, any mod that you know about that maybe you would like to get out there, the community to see, then by all means drop us a suggestion below, and I'll look it up, and obviously if I think it's good enough, then I'll do a video on it. Until next time guys, see you later.